All right, folks, we are back. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas. We are joined by Gerald Celente. Trendsresearch.com is the website. We're going to go to your calls. Let's go to Chuck in North Carolina. Chuck, you're on the line.
Gerald Celente, you're the man.
Hey, thanks, Chuck.
What do you got for us, Chuck?
Just incredible interview. I want to encourage everyone to support the Money Bomb. You know, what do you think about this, Gerald? Do we need to give Alex some money so he can continue this great operation, these great DVDs with Webster Tarpley and Gerald Celente and everybody else? And by the way, I'm not getting any money for this. I'm actually paying money and saying this.
All right, thank you for the call, Chuck. Jeez, I love the support, buddy. It's just so loud in my ear. Let's go to Scott in Illinois. Scott, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason. Hey, I just didn't know if you heard the story yet out of the United Kingdom, where the Daily Mail, Sky News, and the Times of London are all reporting that the United Kingdom is now waterboarding drug suspects too.
No, I have no idea about that.
Yeah, it's on Salon.com. The writer is Raphael G. Satter of the Associated Press, and he's writing that now if you don't give up your drug dealer, they're going to waterboard you until you give up your drug dealer.
So you're telling me that these are just users that they're waterboarding?
Yep.
Wow, that's incredible
drug
to me.
suspects.
All right, well, I'm going to have to check that out, Scott. I thank you for the tip. Gerald, what do you think about that? Obviously, you know, the culture is becoming more and more degraded, and we do kind of see a mirror into the future when we look at the UK as far as the surveillance society and police tactics go. Will we be waterboarding people in this country?
Well, you know, I mean, one of the things we're writing about in this Trends Journal is that it's not a two-tier system. It's not a double standard, one set of rules for us and one for them. It's only one set of rules, and it's for us. The politicians, the Wall Street gang, the real mobsters, you know, they get off with anything they can. I have one drink too many, and I'm 0.1% over a moronically low alcohol level, and if I don't pass the breathalyzer test, what do? You know, they throw you up against a car, they put handcuffs on you, and drag you to jail. You know, welcome to the USA. They break down your doors if they suspect you. You know, if you have a joint in the house. And so let's get real about this. As times get worse, the goon squads get stronger. And the UK, with their stiff upper lip and pinky up in the air, are among the most brutal when you look through history. You know, they have that great accent that everybody likes. But, you know, I mean, look what they did at the G20 meeting. Mm-hmm. And they do the same thing in the States. I was on Fox recently, and I asked a question. If there are riots in the United States, tax protests, you know, and people really start taking to the streets, will the police fire on the people? And the host, Rebecca Gomez, said, "Of course they will. They've done it before. So why be? You know, of course they'll do anything."
Yeah, it is a crazy and just getting crazier world. I mean, I hope that at least troops here at home think twice before firing on groups of American citizens. But again, I'm watching this ABC 2100, a look into the future, and that's what it comes down to. You know, when all the food's gone and the droughts start to happen to global warming and there's all these people migrating and they get out of their pens, what else are we supposed to do but just shoot them down? Let's go to Matt in Missouri. Matt, you're on the line.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Gerald.
Hi, Matt.
With a bunch of bad stuff coming down the wire here, with inflation coming, with the trillions being printed and the stock market crashing in the near term, Gerald, what do you think, or how do you see, in 3 to 4 years with the stock market? I mean, would someone be better, like my parents, be better just getting out of the stock market now when it's around 8,700, even if they lose half for getting out early? Would that be the better thing to do?
Well,
obviously.
Well, we don't give investment advice. We're not permitted to.
Sure.
Forecasters. We're, as I mentioned, we're just finishing up this Trends Journal, and we're writing that, how Wall Street is so happy that the market is rebounding. And you pointed out, it's at 8,700. In October of 2007, it was 14,000. So when you look at the reality and where the future's going, we're not in. Just speaking for ourselves, we're weighted very, very heavily in gold by about 80% of our assets. And that's what we believe in. We don't speculate in the stock markets, and your parents are on average of what everyone else is going through. People are losing everything. Virtually their retirement, 50% of what they owned. And we just don't see a rebound in the market. And when you look at how people were told by their investment advisors that the risk was spread, it's spread the same way across. If you had different investment advisors, you're still looking at the same losses relative to the decline. So we, in the long and short of it, we don't see a rebound.
Yeah, I don't see much of a rebound either. You know, we had somebody call in from California who works in social services, and she said within the last 6 to 12 months, she's seen a quadrupling of the people applying for benefits such as, you know, food stamps, Medicaid, and welfare, and that is an alarming number. Let's go to Stephen in Texas. Stephen, you're on the line.
Yeah, hey, good evening, Jason. Good evening, Gerald. A couple things I wanted to cover real quick. First of all, I've been meaning to tell you about this, and I had written it down, and I just been forgetting. Talked to a good friend of mine who's really up on all the things that you and Alex cover, and he mentioned to me that back in May 5th to be exactly, he was in Humble, Texas, which is just north of Houston, and with his family out there. Well, he noticed all these, at least 50, he said there was probably more law enforcement and U.S. government vehicles, and they had government plates on them that said U.S. government, cars, vans, etc., all parked out there, and it was at the Humble Convention Center. So he asked a friend of his with the Houston Police Department what this was all about, and he told him it was for an anti-terrorism workshop.
Yeah, they're going all over the country, and, you know, they're really gearing up for NLE 09, which is going to be an international affair. I mean, I actually had somebody get a hold of the Australia department that's going to be in there to see what their role was going to be, and they were very vague, but yeah, they said we're taking part in the exercises, as well as Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom, private organizations. It really is a gearing up for internationalization. I mean, this conference going on in Canada right now is literally called Adapting to a New World Order, and that's what this is. I thank you for the call, Stephen. Let's go to Ruben in Washington. Ruben, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason and Gerald. I just had a question about Ford Motor Companies, because, you know, we've lost GM and Chrysler's going down. So I was wondering if you guys had heard any news or what's going on, what might happen to them, what might be in store for Ford.
Well, Ford's in trouble as well, but not as bad, obviously, as Chrysler and GM, and they're looking to benefit from the decline of both those companies. Just on a quick note about Chrysler, their deal with Fiat, if that goes through, which we believe it will, Fiat has two cars that they're going to be bringing over and ostensibly manufacturing here, and that's the 500, and I believe it's the Alpha 149 or 147. These are two excellent cars, and they're a huge hit now over in Europe. This isn't the old Fiat, and I had a 124 Fiat Spider, Sports Spider. You know, fix it again, Tony. That's what this is called, Fiat. This is a different car, and it may be the kind of thing. You know, you get one or two cars that they could turn a whole company around. And so on that note, you know, that's a positive for Chrysler. And Ford, again, they're looking to, you know, be the strong American brand. And, you know, the thing is that Americans would gladly buy American cars if they lived up to the standard of so many of the other cars around the world.
All right, let's jump to Robert in Georgia. Robert, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Gerald, Jason, admire both of your work, and just want to start off with saying, you know, and keep letting your light shine, because without light, there is nothing but darkness. And I wanted to comment on some things Alex asked the other night on your show, Jason, as when if it come to it, would I take the vaccination? No. Mm-hmm. You know, and I listen to y'all's work, and I see what they've done with the economy, and I see where this is headed. I woke up in the late 80s, mm-hmm. and just felt motivated to reach out to people on a more personal level. until recently.